Hello, folks. This is Brandon Chapman with TheoTrade. It's our video for December 8th. We're about 10 minutes before the market close, but better yet, we're about 2 days before we're going to see the next Fed policy statement. So many questions surrounding that, right? I mean, what's Bank of Japan going to do? What's the Fed going to do? Are they going to cut December and not January? What's the outlook there? How's our economy doing? Is the labor market doing better or worse? All these questions that you're not going to have an answer to right now. And so when we think about that, well, how do we attack today when we don't know what tomorrow holds? This is where you go from a macroeconomic perspective more to a microeconomic perspective. The fact of the matter is there's large option trades that are creating movement in the market every single day. In fact, we looked at a big trade last week on EWZ and talked about some potential there. Well, we finally see that gamma come get released a bit on Friday. And so there's stuff that's happening that can create movement in the overall market. Well, how do we find this stuff? Well, I've developed the Ghost Print Surveillance Console. Now, we're starting off with just basically pre-screening stuff that's been sold, stuff that's been bought. But for our purposes, we want to focus on stuff that's being bought. We want stuff that has a relatively high volume to OI ratio, things like that might help us isolate not just the biggest, but also the best trades of the day. So far, the biggest that we're kind of pre-flagging here is NVIDIA, but has a volume to OI ratio of 1 when we receive the trigger. So not as exciting. What I want are block trades. I want stuff where they're not basically filling at the mid or the bid, where they're basically selling or we don't know. I want stuff where we know they're buying and has the potential to move the price. Enter the one-click block trade. I've taken a universe of 1,100 stocks down to 39, easily manageable. And if we sort by the highest volume, we come up with stocks like U, for example, and Merck and Delta, IMO, SPY, LUV, and C. There's a number of these stocks that have some of the most volume traded today. And these also have very high volume alerts. This is when it triggers my kind of base requirements for being significant option activity. So we start to dig in here, there's some ways to approach it, right? Because as we look at the market right now, if we look at the SPY, I mean, where are we headed next? I mean, just look at this for a moment, right? Are we going higher at the moment? We saw EWZ kind of take it on the nose on Friday, but the market's kind of bending today, down 0.4%. If we go to IWM, for example, small caps, we had massive put option prints here, 200,000 contracts plus. Back on the 15th, we've never taken out that high yet on even intraday or closing basis. Where are we headed next for IWM? A lot hangs in the balance with the Fed. And again, recently we've seen some bearish activity in gold, for example. Gold's down today. We tried to take profits. We took our profits in GLD and Ghost Prints. We rolled our BTG trade on Friday when it was up here, trying to reduce our exposure. Because why? We've seen some significant activity hedging the downside in gold just in case something happens. So as we go back to the console, we can see certainly trades in SLV. There's a put trade there, for example, and we could try to screen. There's Newmont. They're buying puts in Newmont today. Barrick, they're actually buying calls, has performed relatively better. Buying some puts here in XLU. We can draw some inferences about the broader market and where the gamma might be to drive the price either up or down. But we want to get down to the individual stock level. Now, let's start off with the top one here, right? 48,000 contracts. Now, if I come over here to location in Unity, I can see kind of where that's getting filled or how much or the amount that's getting filled. So this probably had with a open interest, sorry, my computer's going a little slow right now. We probably had at least 30,000 contracts that were traded in one print. Sorry, it's taking a minute to load. But anyway, we can kind of scroll down through today's option activity, or rather, let's pre-screen. Let's look for anything over 1,000. And if we look right here, you'll see that someone bought 37,000 contracts today. Notice how that has a highlight. That's what created the trigger. So we had 37,000 contracts and it's bought near the ask price, just below the ask. So they're buying calls in Unity. Now, we're soon going to have the depth to be able to see maybe beyond that to see if it's a roll. But this is where if you have a big trade like that, it doesn't hurt to maybe come here and say, okay, Was there another trade that was traded alongside it? And you can see there was a 55 and 45. So what are they doing here? This is a spread trade, right? Well, they sold the 45 and bought the 55s, which is being flagged by the console, right? So we know that this is a rollout to 55, still a bullish trade. And man, if we can break through 55, that's a pretty significant development. It may pressure the stock further. But notice they're trading an in-the-money 45 out here for an out-of-the-money 55. So as we move to 55 and through 55, it does create another potential for a squeeze, just like it did here at 45, because we knew they were long. They're rolling today. And it took breaking through 45 on Friday that ultimately helped create this move and the sustain that we're seeing today. And now they've just moved it out of the money further to 55. That creates a new set of potential if the price can get towards 55. Well, the question is, do you take a stock that's breaking out to a 52-week high? Well, that's not a bad setup, right? 52-week high breakout. We have, if we look down here, volume, we're above the 20-day average. How do we trade something like this? Buying stock can be a bit risky. The stock's up 7% today. The stock has a modicum of volatility. So how can we trade it? Well, something I like to do is look at buying calls or buying call spreads. And notice that the volatilities move out of the money out here does increase. The only problem is, so does the spread width. We go from 49 to 50, it jumps to 55. So for January, doesn't exactly work. But if we come to 9 Jan here, we do have dollar-wide increments out further, but we really don't have any open interest. So this creates a bit of a conundrum, right? You could try to go shorter amounts of time where you likely have a greater strike selection. Just we need the move to happen a bit earlier. And so, but again, we have more of a little bit of a curve. We start to flip up here at 50. Could you buy a 50, 52, deep and wide, 1 month, 2 strike vertical? That might get you in the ballpark there at 68 cents. And boy, if we can touch 52, which is, it could potentially happen tomorrow. And if we go to 55, great. If we see further propulsion, it's going to drive us our profitability even further. But right now, you could buy that for around 68 cents. Look for a 70% gain on that, which if we get towards 52, 53, we'll probably have a chance to get out of that with a 70% gain. Not bad. Well, let's take another one, right? And look, that's not a lot of movement, right? This could easily happen before the Fed announcement on Wednesday. That's kind of what you're banking on with such a short duration till expiration. What about another trader? This is Love. Now, we also have a trade buying calls or call spread in Delta, but Love, we got a 12,000 contract print. We're up to 16,400 today. We click on the location. We're trying to say, okay, well, where did it fill today? Hopefully my computer's going a little faster here, but it's not. It's probably because I'm running a recording here simultaneously, but let's take a look. So we kind of scroll down through today. And again, you'll see 2,600 contracts. That was on the 8th. It was today. We got 12,400 contracts. So really about 15,000 contracts of that 16,000 were in 2 prints today. And they're buying them, right? And so we look at Love. I mean, what is the opportunity in Love? Well, we know the strike price that's being traded, right? It's what? Just come back here. It's the $40 strike price. That's the level that could create a significant squeeze. And it's about $2 above where we currently are trading. Now, we're trading near highs or above highs right now, going back to July. We could go back through your weekly and just see we've been trading in a range. But that $40 strike price is basically saying, hey, if we can get to 40, if we can start to break 40, this could fuel a major squeeze in Love to the upside. We call that a gamma squeeze. And if there's some shorts that we can bring along with it, it can create even more significant upside pressure. So we're looking at just one stock for today that again is basically slightly higher, only about 0.25% right now. But what? But again, we have the possibility if we can just inch towards 40 and push through 40, we could see a bigger move. Now, for me, again, going out 40 days does allow us to give us some ability to not be needed to be right on target, right? But we can even go in the money here at a 37.50. You'll see the volatility kind of flattens out a little bit. Probably want to push to 40, 42.50, but there's not much difference here. So for me, I like the idea of being able to get out if we can get to 40. So in this case, you're paying about $1.05. And again, we're looking for about probably about a 50% gain on this one instead of a 70% gain. But if you could sell that for $1.55, you're right in the ballpark, $1.60 on a 250 wide spread. Where would that come? If we get towards 40, we're there. So we don't even need it to get way above. We just want it to push towards 40. Hopefully, maybe we could get there in a couple of days. And if the Fed announcement comes out, it's accommodative. Maybe we do see a breakout in airlines. But today we're seeing a couple of big trades in Delta and Love today. Let's look at the third one here. Let's take a look at Citi. All right, so Citigroup is a bank. Now, the Fed, if they do not accommodate and we see some money rotating towards bonds, this might hurt banks a little bit, right? So this might be tied in a little bit towards what the Fed is doing. Certainly the Fed's going to have an impact on banks, for example, and have impact on the bond market. But we just broke out on Citigroup at about 104. We've had a really nice move off of support. Is there a chance for Citi maybe pulling back here ahead of the Fed and maybe selling off hard if the Fed gives the wrong news? Absolutely, right? There is such thing as profit taking. You don't necessarily need a big downside move, but the console picked up on what? Specifically the 105 puts for December 26th. So let's go in and take a look at what we could have, right? So we're looking at 105 as a potential target here. But again, I like to go a little bit longer and look at around a 40 delta. Now, notice we're $5 increments here on Citi. All right, that may not work very well, right? So let's look at the weeklies. Do we have enough option depth, meaning open interest? Not a whole lot there. So what could I do? Maybe Citi isn't necessarily the best stock for that type of trade, but financials are in a similar position. We're back up against resistance. We've had a phenomenal move. We don't necessarily have that gamma squeeze directly, but indirectly through Citigroup and maybe other trades that might pop up here in the near term. What we could do is just look for that same kind of downside play, buying the 53 and selling the 52. So we're going to buy deep and wide, 112 strike vertical, buying the 53, selling the 51. Now we look at the volatility here. We're buying 16 and selling 19. This trade costs 45 cents. Our break even is at what? 52.55. So when we start to look at the chart here, 52.55 is right about there. We just need a pullback maybe towards 52 and we're done with a 70% gain. Maybe we shoot for the moon a little bit, look for a 51 handle and don't close it for a 70% gain, but look to close it for $1.20, which is what? 60% of the difference between the two strike prices. Point being right now, there are trading opportunities, bearish, bullish. Some of the bullish are obviously expecting a continued movement to the upside, whereas this one's playing a little bit of a short-term reversal. Or if you stretch it for $1.20, you buy it for 45. And again, that's a gain of what? 55 plus 50, that's a $1.05 gain on 45. That's a 200%, over 200% gain on that. That's if we get towards 51, maybe a little bit through. You might have a chance of getting out of that for $1.20. Point being is that you have a chance to take the smaller moves or the bigger moves on the bearish side, or take the smaller moves on some relatively bullish stocks that are breaking out to new highs today. Well, folks, that's all we got for today. We'll catch you back next week on the video. I hope to see you then. Thank you.